You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days of Our Lives fans. Xander Kiriakis and his wife, Sarah Horton, as we know, are so deep in love, but this is the furthest apart they've been in years. Still, I'm confident Xander is going to win back Sarah. Plus, our reliable leaker said their reunion is happening before the holidays. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we're going to talk about what it's going to take to get Zara back together again. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and let's dive in. You know, we've seen the back and forth between Xander and Sarah as they both ignore their deep feelings for each other, and it's been months. You know, they will each give each other a lingering look. We can hear their hearts pitter-pattering, but neither one of them have been willing to swallow their pride and make amends as they keep butting heads as they try to co-parent little Victoria. It may take a legit miracle to push these former lovebirds back together. I don't know about you, but it's been frustrating because I am a fan of this couple to watch Xander and Sarah as everything gets worse and worse for them this summer. They both cannot seem to get over each other's bad behaviors. Neither of them has clean hands in this situation. You know, Xander felt so betrayed because Sarah kept that lie going about Phillip's forgery that cost Xander half of Titan Industries. And Sarah claimed it was for Xander's own good, but all he sees is that his precious wife Sarah lied and took the side of Phillip the Weasel. So that led Xander to beat his brother Phillip to a bloody pulp, which led Sarah to be disgusted at his violence and turn her back completely on Xander, who was equally disgusted with her. Now, I do think Phillip in that beating was taking the brunt of all of Xander's frustrations over Sarah fibbing to him and being disloyal. We all know Xander has got deep-rooted mommy issues and daddy issues, and Sarah is his heart and soul, her and their daughter. That's his whole world. So for Sarah to choose to be loyal to Phillip, to somebody else over him, that's just too much for Dandy Zandy to deal with. Now, Sarah and Xander are legally separated and trying to learn how to co-parent their toddler Victoria, but our leaker also says they will never be divorced, at least not as part of this scenario. But everybody in Salem knows that love is still there. All the fans know it. And let's be real, Sarah has forgiven Xander for far worse than beating up his brother. Like when Sarah let it slide that Xander lied about her baby dying and stole another baby to put in Sarah's arms because Xander thought that was the best thing for her. I mean, that's kind of the same logic Sarah used when she let the whole Phillip lie slide. So you'd think that Xander and Sarah could sit down and hash this out and talk about all the many mistakes of their past, but so far they're both just too hurt still and just have such a dim view of each other. Plus, let's be real, as mad as Xander is, Sarah has forgiven him much worse. So I think he needs to let it go. But again, I'm back to the mommy and daddy issues. In the end, the big question is, who's going to cave first and realize we need to get back together? Will Xander's therapy with Marlena lead him to realize he needs to make things right and win back his soulmate Sarah? And then he goes out and he does all the wooing and Xander does all this hard work. Will it be him that has the realization first? Or could it be that Sarah is the one who sees that she needs to win back Xander because she can't move on because he is her person? In the meantime, Brady Black is throwing himself in Sarah's path more and more. That's going to start happening a lot more. Brady is hoping for a romance with Sarah. And I think Brady being in her way could help Sarah see the light where Xander's concerned. Maybe she figures out, even though her husband can be a very bad boy, he's also the only man for her. In that case, it could be Sarah putting in the work to rekindle things with her hubby. Now, obviously, it would be more stereotypical if Xander's the one doing the pursuing. So it would be new and different if it was Sarah working to win that reconciliation and to get Xander back in her house and her bed and her heart. over the past few years, Sarah and Xander have been through so much. There was kidnappings of both Sarah and Victoria, plus there was Victor's death that rocked the whole family, and then awful Fiona Cook showing up and running over Sarah while drunk and paralyzing her, then trying to kill her by throwing her down the stairs. But still, people are rooting for them. Holly Jonas is rooting for her Aunt Sarah to get back with Xander, plus Alex Kiriakis was speaking to Sarah as well. He knows she still loves his cousin Xander, but when Alex told Xander that he told Sarah she was missed, that didn't go over well. You know, when Alex talked to Xander, all he got was glares and pushback. Alex keeps working on Xander to legitimize Phillip by assigning him the co-CEO position and thinks that could help things with Sarah, but Xander's just so salty about it all still. But if he keeps doing the anger management sessions with Dr. Marlena Evans, that could help sway Sarah, who has been worried about Xander's temper and violence ever since he threatened to take a baseball bat to Brady when Xander thought he ran over Sarah. And of course, Xander would never, ever lay a hand on Sarah or Victoria, but at the same time, Sarah doesn't think that Xander's bad temper and tendency to punch first and ask questions later is a good influence on Victoria. She thinks it's a very bad thing. So we have heard from our leaker that Phillip is going to be involved with efforts to help reconcile his brother Xander with Sarah, because obviously Phillip's whole thing played a really big role in their rift. So him making it right is a decent thing to do. And that seems like a sure sign that Xander is probably going to cave and do what Alex and Stephanie suggest. Play nice with Phillip, make him officially the co-CEO so that the forgery thing is off the table. And that would make sense then if Xander did that, why Phillip goes to bat and tries to help the marriage. But we've got interlopers. Gwen's still hot for Xander, and Gabby's playing games with him and with Phillip, and Brady is crushing on Sarah soon. So if it's Xander who's doing the wooing to win back Sarah, legitimizing Phillip at Titan, I think would help his case. So would be getting an anger management achievement certificate from Marlena. Plus, maybe Xander does some deed to prove he's a changed man. That would help. Like if he protected Phillip, or he did something really nice for Brady, or saved their daughter from a burning house or something. Or maybe Xander gets a chance to rescue Maggie, or even Sarah herself. I think it's going to be some combo of words and deeds that could help Xander get a new shot with Sarah. However, if it is Xander who is the one getting wooed, I think Sarah could make very short work of this. She could just tell Xander very sincerely, "I'm sorry. I was wrong for keeping that secret about Phillip. I'm proud of all the hard work you're doing to make yourself a better man for our daughter." And then Sarah can, show him she's wearing lacy lingerie, and that should be the end of it. Marriage reconciled, because men are much simpler creatures. Am I right?
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.